We have an incredibly large population of folks who are experiencing homelessness here in New York, and that can range anywhere between young families with children all the way up to folks who are in the elderly population, who have lived in shelter for many years.
Our system is really big, so we have probably close to 400 shelters. There are about 70,000 clients in the shelter system. The single adult client, which are the population that is most likely to suffer from substance use and overdose, there are about 22,000, and so it's huge. We are like a small city.
There's so many challenges to doing harm reduction work everywhere, especially in a shelter setting, especially because there's so much stigma around folks experiencing homelessness as it is, assuming that people have done something wrong to get into the situation that they're in their life. The truth is there's so many reasons that people experience homelessness, and there's so many reasons that people use substances. But because of the stigma and the judgment and truly a focus on abstinence as the only path towards recovery, we see that so many people are kept out of services. Harm reduction and ways to reduce your risk, even while still using, are possible.
A lot of my patients have different reasons for why they are not currently engaged in the shelter system. Stigma gets talked a lot about, this idea that we don't necessarily judge people who use drugs, but we don't want to encourage it by giving out needles. So it doesn't come from a place of judgment necessarily, it's sort of a well-intentioned thing, but that sort of vibe and sentiment can be picked up by patients and clients. And I think it makes them feel less welcome in a space as opposed to staying out on the street and getting supplies from, teams like mine or certain exchange programs.
In development of the strategic plan, we've put together an advisory council of people who are doing harm reduction work on a community-based level, making sure that we're always including folks who have lived experience either with substance use or in experiencing homelessness in the creation of all of our materials and our planning purposes. And that's been really significant because it puts a stake in the ground saying we are committed to this and we're holding ourselves accountable to this.
Now the harm reduction trainings are targeted at staff because the staff in the shelters have that consistent communication with the clients. If the staff in the shelter don't have the right mindset or culture as regards how to communicate with clients that may have a substance abuse disorder, then we're not going to be getting the results that we want to get. Abstinence is not, the only way, and abstinence might be very, very risky for some people. So we're propagating the harm reduction approach, the person-centered approach, and we do believe that, as we continue with this approach, we're definitely going to see a reduction in the number of opioid-related deaths, and not just even opioids, because there are a wide range of, substances out there.
And a decision was made that we were going to train enough staff to recognize overdose and administer naloxone to have someone who can do this 24/7 at every single one of our shelters. So that was a tall order, but that was the first step. And it was not that hard to sell because we were saving a life.
We have had success stories whereby, clients will come to us and tell us excitedly that they administered naloxone to someone who was in their room and they were able to save a life.
And in doing this work from the platform of DHS and with the reach that we have, I'm really excited to make some wide systems level changes that support our clients in more ways than just housing. We are developing and supporting a system that really is focused on our clients' well-being in all ways of their life.
I mean, we are really not shy at saying how many, we call them lives saved, really, by how many reversals we've had. We've done thousands of reversals. So the program speaks for itself.
Let's tell every single person that we offer harm reduction supports and services in our shelter system. Whether they use substances or not, let's tell them that this is an option. That's the first step in breaking down stigma, to say whether or not you use substances, we're not going to require abstinence, and we're going to have support options if you want it. If you don't want it, if your neighbor wants it, or your community member wants it, or your friend wants it, you know that this is an option for you.